Hey everybody, happy Thursday. Oh, wait, happy Friday. Welcome back to another What Else is Going On, aka WEIGO YouTube video. I am your host, your girl, Teresa. So there is a couple of things that I want to get into you guys with that I've been um, had in my drafts folder waiting to do a video. So I'm gonna do this one, and then I will definitely be back later today with another one. But I wanted to get into just a little bit of Bravo stuff that may be old news, but I still wanted to talk about it. So let's go ahead and get into it. First up, let's talk about Real Housewives of Miami. So shout out to Julia and Martina. If you guys have watched Miami, if you have not, you're missing out. But if you have watched Miami, and even if you haven't, there's a couple, Julia and Martina, the former tennis pro, Navratilova. They wanted to have a child. Julia was really pushing to adopt another child, and Martina was open to it. They wanted to have children. And then I believe it was, they put it on hold because Martina had been battling cancer. And I think that's the reason. Was there another reason? Y'all let me know. I can't remember if that was either the reason, the only reason, or there was another reason in addition to that. But they had kind of stopped going through the process for a while. Well, now, this is according to Page Six. RHOM star Julia Lemegova and wife Martina Navratilova adopt two young boys. Real Housewives of Miami star Julia and her wife, tennis legend Martina, have adopted two young boys for the couple. Reps for the couple confirm they are delighted and request they are now given the space and privacy to welcome the new members of their family, the publicist tells us. Martina also released a statement stating that she is thrilled to be expecting her family with Julia. She said, "We are over the moon, recognizing the challenges and the rewards for everybody," the athlete said. The announcement comes nearly 8 months after the model turned Bravo celebrity told Page Six that she and Martina were not closing the door on adoption plans, which had previously been stalled due to Martina's hard-won battle with stage 1 throat and breast cancer. "I hope that we will soon expand our family," Julia said optimistically in December of 2023, echoing a desire that she shared on Real Housewives of Miami season 5. That March, Martina said in a Piers Morgan uncensored interview that welcoming another child seemed unlikely in the wake of her health scare. "I think adoption was a nice thought for a while, but I think this has brought it into sharp focus. You know, I'm not really the youngest anymore, and I don't want to be the grandmother on the playground," said the sports icon who previously had breast cancer in 2010 and underwent a lumpectomy. I didn't realize, or I had forgot that she had breast cancer before. Then she had it again and throat cancer. "Forget that part. There's just not enough space for this to happen." Julia, a native of Russia who made history as the first out lesbian housewife to be cast on the reality TV franchise when Miami was rebooted in 2021, is the mother of two adult daughters, Victoria and Emma, from previous relationships. Julia and Martina wed in 2014. So they wanted to adopt. They had talked about it on the show. And then Martina doing this interview in March, must have been March, said that she thought the chapter was pretty much closed. But then for them to announce that they have adopted two boys, congratulations to them. I wonder if we'll see this play out because Real Housewives of Miami hasn't even started filming yet, which I think is wild. I'm like, wait a minute. Normally they would have started filming already. Like, what are we waiting for? So, but congratulations to them. Um, I kind of wonder, I wonder how old the boys are that they adopted. Did they adopt littles or did they adopt maybe older than littles? Because I know they say that sometimes those are the children that have a harder time being adopted. So either way, I pray that it's the best for all parties involved. I want to say, I wonder if the children will be black. I'm just going to say it. I'm honest with y'all. Like that's when I heard that she adopted two young boys. That's the picture that I immediately got in my head. I don't know why, but well, I know why. But that's the first picture that I got. But either way, whether they black, white, we're all precious in Jesus' sight, honey. And 2 children, now have a home. So congratulations. Moving on. Hold on. I want to show y'all something. Hold on. I didn't realize she was going to start talking that fast. Let's get into some things with Miss Garcelle Bouveau, honey. Hold on. Get ready to share some things with y'all. All right.
Should really go on the apps. I have one. It's really like
Hold on. Let me go up and then come back.
CEOs, the top guys. And she goes, you should go on it. And I go, I don't know. She goes, no, trust me. And I said, okay, I'll go on it. And so a week later, I'm like, you know what? I should do it. So I go on it.
What
and I have to remember, I want to say League.
Oh, the League.
And so I go on it and I'm looking and you have to pay. And I'm like, I don't want to pay to meet a guy. I mean, that seems a little weird. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try it. So anyway, so I sign up and it was like $399 a week. These are high-end guys, so you gotta pay for it. So I go on it and I look and I'm like, it's not really my type of thing. So I get off it. So cut to maybe 6-8 months later. I'm on my app stuff and my son Jax comes down and I go, hey Jax, there's a particular app that I want to get off of. Like, how do I do it? And he grabs my phone and he goes, Mom, why do you have all these things that you're paying for? He goes, a dating app? I go, no, I'm not on a dating app. $6,000 later.
Child, I'd have been sick.
I wanted to throw up. I couldn't believe it. I never checked out.
You didn't cancel the
Did you get any dates out of that for $6,000?
Not one. Not one.
Not one dick.
Not one. Not one dick.
Not one.
Not one dick.
For $6,000.
$6,000.
Yeah, I can't believe that.
Bethany Frankel a couple of years ago said to me, you should really go on the apps. I have one. It's really like CEOs, the top guys. And she goes, you should go on it. And I go, I don't know. She goes, no, trust me. And I said, okay.
All right. So we already heard it. Y'all, Garcelle just said that dating app was $399 a week. I need to be going to 300 dinners a week. Somehow we're going to have to make it happen. At least 150. We're going to divide 150 by 7. Let's see. I know that's a lot of energy, but child, we got B12 shots. We got supplements. We can go. So 150. I need to be going on 21 dates a day. I know that's ridiculous, but seriously, $399 a week. Okay, for the top high-end guys. But she decides to get off of it. And $6,000 later, baby girl, I feel like Dr. Simone, baby girl, like not one date. I don't care if I had $6 million. I still don't want to lose 6,000. I don't care if I had 60 million, 600 million. I want all my monies to go somewhere that I get a benefit from. So that $6,000 could have been shoes, clothes, a bag, a shirt, makeup, anything. And not one date. Now, I do think it's interesting that she said she didn't want to have to, she doesn't think you should have to pay, which I understand that, but also that's what they do with matchmakers. So the app is just no different than, I guess, electronic matchmaker that costs you $399 a week. When if you do, so what, $400 a week times 4, $1,600 a month, that could be what a professional matchmaking service costs you. That is wild. I wanted to, again, no benefit out of it, none. Not 1D, as they said. Shout out to Garcelle, though. I hope that she finds the one that she is looking for. All right, moving on. Let's talk about the Real Housewives of Dubai. So, y'all, if y'all are not watching this season, I'm begging you again to watch. It is so good. It's so different than the latest Housewives, other than OC, that we've been getting. Is so different from Potomac, so different from even Beverly Hills. To me, it's just, there's a lightheartedness to it. Even though they do talk about serious stuff, it's just a different, it's like a fresh wind for me. That and OC is giving it to us as well. But anyway, Dubai is good. So if you're watching this season of Dubai, you know that Sara has a friend named Saba who kind of like fades into the back. But then, now, let me just preface this by saying Saba is not my favorite. I'm really into Saba like that. However, when she speaks up, I'm like, even though I don't really see it for you, I kind of don't mind you here. It's really weird. It's like, okay, I can see how she can kind of fit or connect with the group. But then when she's not talking, I forget that she's there as well, right? And then a part of me is like, is she really that outspoken when she is, or is she doing it because she wants to be on a show? Because Saba had said something about Talene, and Talene had basically tweeted like, either she tweeted or said in an interview, but I want to say a tweet, but basically it was down to Saba and Talene got picked as the housewife and Saba was picked as the friend of. But we know that Sara and Saba were very good friends and they were also business partners. They actually just talked about their business partnership, like 2 or so episodes ago. Child, let's get into some things, shall we? So Miss Saba has come to us and let us know she is no longer, trying to share the screen with y'all. Here we go. She is no longer working or friends with Sara. So let's get into it. This is from Jade's reality blog. I'm not even going to try to say maybe Yusuf. Saba Yusuf announces amicable parting from Sara Al-Madani. UAE, London, August 13th, 2024. Saba Yusuf today, so this was August, remember, this was August the 13th, announced an amicable decision to part ways, both personally and professionally, with Sara Al-Madani. So she said, we now working together and we now friends. This decision follows careful consideration and reflection on recent developments. After thorough deliberation, I have chosen to move forward without Sara in both my personal and professional endeavors, said Saba Yusuf. Our paths and values no longer align, and it's in the best interest of both parties to take separate journeys. There's an appreciation for our journey, and now is the time to take different paths. Saba Yusuf will continue to embrace the importance of authenticity, integrity, and transparency in all aspects of life and business. I wish Sara all the best in her future endeavors and hope she finds success and fulfillment. Moving forward, Saba Yusuf remains committed to her role as CEO and advisory board member, focusing on her family, charity work, and maintaining the highest standards of professionalism and authenticity. For media inquiries, please contact management@sabayusuf.com. If I was really interested, I would reach out to her, but I'm not really going to. But Sara said, it's over for us. We ain't friends. We ain't partners. I do think it's interesting when we get these things from these wives, and I always look at how they word things, right? And I feel like they're very intentional with their wording. And I want to go back to her saying, Saba Yusuf will continue to embrace the importance of authenticity, integrity, and transparency in all aspects of life and business. And for me, I don't know about anyone else who's watching, Sara came off to me last season and kind of still does this season as not as authentic as she pretends to be. I could be wrong. That's just my opinion and my feeling about her, right? So I just thought it was interesting that she wanted to let us know that that Saba was committed to authenticity. Well, Sara has come out and said, excuse me. Sara tweeted a statement about a friendship breakup. What are we, in high school? I didn't launch the business publicly with you yet, but sure, it's a CEO thing, I guess. Wishing you all the best in everything you do, beautiful. I don't know why this was necessary. We weren't married, but sure, it's cute. Should have wrote a song, would have been more romantic. Anyways, back to what's important. How is everyone with 3 hearts? And see, I mean, like stuff like that. It's like almost a passive aggressive love and light. You know, we try with love and light, but yeah, it's like, come on, this is just own, like be authentic in your feeling. Like, girl, this is high school. Why are you coming out trying to speak publicly instead of I didn't wishing you all the best and everything you do, beautiful. And maybe she is, but to me, that's the energy I get from Sara. It's like a passive aggressive type love and light with some other intention behind it. I don't know. So I guess we won't be seeing Miss Saba on our screens anymore after this season as a friend of or in any other manner. Now, I wanted to get into something, so I'm going to read you something that came out, but then there's an update to it, right? So news came out that another lawsuit claims debt from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City cast member. Lisa Barlow's tequila brand is now the focus of 3 lawsuits. Entrepreneur and the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City cast member Lisa Barlow is being accused of not paying debts again in a lawsuit filed this Tuesday in Salt Lake County's 3rd District Court. Georgia finance man William McGeary claims Barlow and her husband John owe him and his trust $400,000. According to the complaint, McGeary loaned the money to help the Barlows cover expenses related to their tequila brand. Now, remember, there was already a lawsuit that we talked about some months ago. Now this is coming out. Barlow's publicist did not immediately respond yesterday, to the Tribune's request for comment. An attorney has not yet been named in this case, but Sean Egan, who is representing Barlow in a lawsuit filed in June, said he was not aware of the new charges as of Tuesday afternoon and could not provide comment. It's the 3rd time this year someone has accused Barlow or her family of owing money on behalf of Vida Tequila. A former business partner sued Barlow in June for roughly $410,000. He claims she borrowed between 2010 and 2018 and has not repaid. The Financial Services Corporation also sued Vida and John Barlow in May for $105,954.16 in alleged unpaid loans. The Barlows have denied the charges in each case, according to court documents. I pay my bills and obligations, and I always have, Lisa Barlow said in a statement in June. So that with the newest lawsuit, the person McGeary's complaint that the Barlows borrowed money from the McGeary Family Trust in order to source raw materials for Vida Tequila, but actually spent the money elsewhere and never paid it back. According to the complaint, John Barlow approached McGeary's son, David, who had known the couple for 20 years, and said Vida Tequila was struggling to buy certain raw materials because vendors weren't convinced it had money. David McGeary is not a plaintiff in the suit, but is an authorized agent of the trust, according to the complaint. The McGeary Family Trust signed off on a $400,000 loan with 5% interest in December 2022. That's after the show started. To be paid back a year later, according to the complaint. The loan could be converted to equity in Vida Tequila if both parties agreed, but the trust told Vida in November 2023 that it didn't want equity. It expected its money back plus interest in a month. McGeary claims Vida has not made any payments towards its loan and has therefore violated its contract with the McGeary Family Trust. The complaint also alleges the Barlows did not spend the loan money on the materials they claimed Vida Tequila needed. That story was a farce. Was some of it on that ring that she lost in the bathroom? Oh, no, that was a push present after the little one, Henry Wright, was born. Right? Okay. The complaint does not specify how McGeary thinks the money was spent, but claims Vida already had significant quantities of raw materials that did not change over time, suggesting both the company had no need for raw materials. Suggesting that both the company had no need for raw materials and that no new raw materials were acquired after the loan was founded. The McGeary Family Trust would not have offered the loan if not for the belief it would help Vida Tequila buy necessary materials, the complaint claims. It's a misrepresentation of McGeary's attorney's claim amounts to securities fraud. Now, there's an update. This is according to TMZ. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star Lisa Barlow tequila biz lawsuit dropped. So it was filed on Tuesday. This update was, and then the article comes out yesterday. This update was yesterday. Update, 3:51 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Lisa Barlow tells TMZ her lawyers have notified her that this lawsuit was dismissed. RHOSLC star Lisa Barlow and her, okay. So that just goes back into the documents. Now the initial lawsuit documents were obtained by TMZ. They put the story out, which is where the Salt Lake Tribune got it from. So now, as of yesterday, they're saying that Lisa told TMZ that her lawyers notified her that the lawsuit was dismissed. I mean, I don't know. Y'all like my glass? Isn't that cute? Just one more episode. I got one for me and Corey. Whenever we binge watch stuff, when it's me and him at home, we'll be like, all right, just one more episode. All right, just one more. And then we're going to go to bed. Just one more. So these are our reality TV glasses. But anyway, I would like to see the paperwork showing that it was dropped. I mean, or I don't have to see it, but I wonder if TMZ is going to verify it. Because Lisa just telling them, I mean, I would like to think she wouldn't, because there would be paperwork that it was dismissed, right? And I wouldn't think Lisa would just, I would hope she wouldn't just tell a media outlet like TMZ who gets paperwork that the lawsuit was dropped if it wasn't. So we shall see. We shall see. Are y'all ready for a season 6 of Salt Lake City? I know some people are upset that Monica's not back, but I'm gonna watch it and see what it's giving. Who knows how it could turn out to be. Moving on. All right, y'all, let's talk about the Real Housewives of New Jersey. So Frank Catania is out there talking. This is according to Reality Blurb. Frank Catania claims he heard Teresa Giudice was asked to leave RHONJ and says she's changed since relationship with Luis Ruelas. Say that 19 times, even 3 times. Plus, he talks cash shakeup and suggests he's done with, I'm just going to say Louis. Frank Catania said he heard that Teresa was asked to leave as opposed to being fired from the Real Housewives of New Jersey, and he claimed her personality has changed since her relationship with her husband, Louis. During the season 13 reunion, oh yeah, I was going to say they didn't have no reunion, but that was last season. Castmates accused Louis of hiring a private detective to dig up dirt on them following a series of negative leaks about him, which according to Teresa came from her on-screen foes. Frank has known Teresa for over 3 decades and was once friends with Louis, but Frank's alliances are seemingly getting stronger with Joe Gorga, Teresa's brother with whom she's feuding, and Joe's wife, Melissa. He's also close with the husband of Margaret Joseph, who despises Teresa and Louis. Listen, she's changed. In my opinion, she has changed since Louis's been around, Frank said on the Lisa Alice Stewie podcast. When asked how Teresa's changed, Frank responded, she's just not herself, not the Teresa I grew up with. He then addressed the cash changes that exec Andy Cohen recently teased. I suspect they're going to be dropping off some people and bringing additional new people in, as well as keeping some people on. But you can't continue the way we're doing it now, because right now it's basically 2 separate shows, so splintered. You know, when you got a reality show where half the cast won't film together with the other half of the cast. Frank also shared that he heard Teresa might be exiting the RHONJ following this season. I've heard the same thing about Teresa being asked to leave as opposed to being fired. But it's a shame because, you know, I see Teresa landing someplace. Child, what? Y'all, that was one of them ads. I didn't know what was. Father God in heaven. Let's read that again. Child, that scared the mess out of me. I've heard the same thing about Teresa being asked to leave as opposed to being fired. But it's a shame because, you know, I see Teresa landing someplace because Teresa, across all the franchises, is probably the most recognizable housewife in the world. Frank previously stated that following season 13's reunion, Teresa's husband reached out to him. Frank had accused him of attempting to professionally smear both Frank and Joe. Though Louis denied it, Frank wasn't convinced. Now, during an episode on 2 T's in a Pod that aired on June 23rd, Frank hinted he was done with Louis. Louis and I, at this particular time, whatever we had is over with and done. Now, what's interesting is, remember when, I forget who it was that brought it up last season, that Frank Jr. used to work with Louis, but they wouldn't get into it. I feel like Frank Sr. would have said more, but Dolores shut it down quick. Clearly, I feel like that didn't necessarily end amicably. So Frank said that he's basically done with Louis. Teresa has changed, and he thinks that Teresa has been asked to leave. So what I thought was interesting were these posts. I believe it was after the episode. I believe it was after the last episode. She shared, after final watch party, she shared some Instagram stories. The first one was, sometimes God closes doors because it's time to move forward. He I'm just going to read it how it's written. So her Instagram story says, sometimes God closes doors because it's time to move forward. He know you won't move unless your circumstances force you. Trust the transition. God's got you. Then she also reposted. Let's see, was this a repost? Okay. Then she also posted something, and it looks like a book, and it says, Karma said, time decide who you meet in your life. Heart decide who you want in your life. Behavior decide who will stay in your life. Then she reposted someone else saying 24 seasons of seeing, like someone had a picture of Teresa, and then they wrote this and she reposted it. I was going to show you all, but 24 seasons of seeing at Teresa Giudice, standing strong, never needing anyone to defend her battles, even if it had to take her knocking things off the table. It was worth every bit of it. She's iconic housewife. I know for a fact, no matter what, I'll see Teresa on Bravo some way, somehow. She will be on TV with a heart. Iconic seasons, thanks to Teresa. So I just thought that was interesting after seeing what Frank said about her being asked to leave versus being fired, from what he heard, because that's alleged. We don't know if that's true or not. And then the post that she made afterwards. So I don't know. We'll see. I think I've asked y'all this before, but I'm gonna ask y'all again. Do y'all want to see a season without Teresa? I wouldn't mind it. That's just that. Now, I will say this. I am not a fan at all of Jennifer Aiden. I've said that, and I felt like that since the beginning, since she came on the scene. That's just me. However, so I know the people who want Teresa to go say that Jen Aiden should go and Jackie should go. I will say this. It would be interesting to me if they brought all the ladies back except Teresa, and they even brought Jen Aiden. I'm kind of not sure about Jackie. I want to see Jen Aiden without Teresa. Even though, again, I could care less. I mean, not care. I don't see it for her. I've never have seen it for her. I can still say I would want to see her without a Teresa now that she knows the ladies, right? And now that she doesn't feel like she has to ride so much for, like, I want to see her navigate her way around these different relationships, relationship with Margaret, relationship with Melissa, because I think that her and Melissa would actually get along, her relationship with Danielle, with Rachel. I would want to see that. I almost feel like I would kind of want to see Jackie thrown in. However, Jackie and Jen would align. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want to see all the women against Jen, clearly, right? Even though I don't care for her, I don't want to see that. But I would want to see how she tried to navigate that. With Jackie, I don't know, but I wouldn't be opposed to it if you took Teresa out of the mix, because Jackie and what's her name? Jen were so firmly on Teresa's side. Now we can say, well, Melissa and the other ladies were so firmly on Margaret's side. True, but I do think it would still be a different dynamic. And I think that we would see other friendships form. I do. I think that I could see Jen, Aiden, and Melissa. I can see that because Jen wants to be on this show. We know they all do, of course, but we know that Jen built her house to be on the show. For those of you that don't know, she did an interview talking about how she auditioned and didn't get selected. And one of the things was her house wasn't big enough. So she built this house, or either built or bought. I don't know if it was, I can't remember. I remember listening to the interview, but I can't remember. Either way, she wants this, right? So I would want to see if relationship dynamics switched, if Jen and Melissa got really close, and then where does that leave Margaret? And you know what I'm saying? And I just really would. I wouldn't mind that being a change and then bringing it on a new person. Jen Fessler, I don't know. I don't know. I don't need, like, I need you to stand up in whatever you believe. Because even though I don't really see it for Dolores, it's clear that she's firmly unfirm. She's not, like, you know what I mean? Like, she's not going over to let's say Margaret's room, presenting one thing to them, and then going over to Teresa's room, presenting one thing to them. So in your face. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't mind seeing Dolores leave. However, it would be interesting to see Jackie on there trying to navigate her way in, and her and Dolores, because Dolores hasn't been, I don't care what nobody say, Dolores has not been able to stand Jackie from day one. When she was in that confessional a couple weeks ago, she's always crying. I was like, Dolores can't stand Jackie for some reason. And I wonder what it is. And it could just be nothing. You know how I've met people before, and this is very not normal for me. I very rarely do I meet somebody and just get a feeling of not liking them. I've only got one person stands out in my mind from years ago, but that I just was like, even just being around them, like the energy, the spirit of them, I just was like, But and I feel like that's what it is, or that's what it could be with Jackie and Dolores, or maybe Dolores is just like, I don't like you. You know, I heard somebody say everybody ain't hating on you. Some people just don't like you. Who knows? So I would be open to that. Let me know y'all thoughts. Moving on, the last story. Let's talk about the Real Housewives of Orange County, Miss Katie Janela. This is according to Us Weekly. RHOC newcomer Katie Janela sued for $5 million over alleged stolen business idea. The Real Housewives of Orange County newbie Katie Janela is being sued over her golf business for $5 million. Chad Rusky filed a lawsuit last month against Janela, her company T-Shots, and her business partners over their golf-shaped shot glasses. According to paperwork obtained by Us Weekly, Rusky accused Janela and her co-workers of breach of implied contract and the reality star's business partners of fraud, requesting that her colleagues turn over all profits from the business. In the paperwork, Rusky claimed he developed the unique idea of the golf shot, a shot of alcohol contained in a golf ball-shaped shot glass. He noted in the documents that he filed a patent application related to the product with the working titles Golf Shot and T-Shots. Ain't that what the name of her business is? T-Shots? Yep. Okay. The golf shot consists of a clear spherical glass resembling a golf ball, meticulously crafted to reflect the dimpled surface of an actual golf ball. The glass is designed to hold approximately 50 milliliters of alcohol, such as tequila or other spirits, providing a novel and sophisticated drinking experience. The paperwork stated before claiming Rusky shared the idea with Janela's business partner, who expressed an immediate interest in partnering with Chad to take the idea to the market. There were alleged conversations between Rusky and Janela's business partners, George and Dolores Salmon, where they agreed to work together. In 2023, Rusky provided updates on the project in addition to securing a domain, social media account, and advancing the design. Rusky is now accusing Janela's business partners of conspiring behind his back to secure the T-Shots name. In or around June 2023, unbeknownst to Chad, defendants George and Dolores began conspiring with Katie to form a competing company to exploit Chad's idea, the documents alleged, lacking the ability to create successful businesses on their own. George, defendants Dolores, and Katie desperately wanted an idea that others found exciting. Rusky claimed the trio envisioned the enormous profits they could reap by leveraging Katie's hopeful fame from her anticipated appearance on The Real Housewives of Orange County. They believed that Katie's exposure on the show would provide a powerful platform to promote their purloined product, thereby accelerating their wealth accumulation. The lawsuit read about Gina. The lawsuit read about Gina and her partners, Janela, and her partners allegedly forming the company T-Shots in the state of Wyoming as a calculated move to further their fraudulent scheme while attempting to shield the identities of the true owners involved in the theft. Rusky requested in the lawsuit an injunction which would prevent Janela and her partners from continuing to sell the product. In response to the legal action, an attorney representing Janela and her partners issued a statement. Katie Janela, along with Dolores and George Salmon, have not been served with any lawsuit by Chad Rusky against them at this time. Ms. Janela and the Salmons were previously contacted by Mr. Rusky's attorney about claims of being in breach of partnership to develop a golf ball shot glass business, and they denied having any business ties or arrangements with Mr. Rusky. Danielle Ducan, maybe, told In Touch on Tuesday, August 13th. Mr. Ruskey's claim to a unique idea of a golf ball shot glass is unfounded. Ms. Janella, in particular, has had zero dealings or prior contact with Mr. Ruskey and will vigorously defend against being frivolously named in a lawsuit. What's interesting is this story comes out. And then today, I believe, so this story came out, what, 2 days ago, Wednesday? Today, I believe a story came out about Katie's ex and how abusive he was to, like, verbally and some other physicalities, allegedly, in the divorce, that was in the divorce filings. And a part of me wondered if all of a sudden now the media is talking about the divorce documents with Katie's ex as a way to kind of push this to the background. Because I just thought it was interesting that this lawsuit has come out this week, and then days later, now divorce documents, her divorce documents from her ex have been uncovered, and it's this explosive headline. So I was and again, not negating all of that happening. And if, again, it's in the divorce documents, but I wasn't there, all of it's alleged, but still, it was horrible, some of the stuff that was named that her ex did. But I did wonder if it was kind of look, what is it called when you not create a diversion, but like, look over there, this is happening over there. There's a name for it. I can't think of it. But anyway, Katie said she ain't steal nobody's idea. And her lawyer said the golf ball shot, you can't prove that basically the other people didn't have the same idea. We shall see as soon as an update comes out. I will get you guys an update for the Real Housewives of Orange County. I've got to do that review. We're going to have to do 2-on-1, a quick one from last week. And then because I got to get this week done. I plan on taking off tomorrow, maybe, or at least most of the day. Are y'all liking Katie? I feel like a lot of us agree that it seems like Katie's kind of coming in gunning for Heather, like a big dog, if you will. You know what I mean? To have a story. And I'm tired. I'm tired. Katie, I'm tired. So we'll see how it goes. I can't wait to get into last night's episode. I've been seeing some of the online discourse, like, oh, I can't wait to get into it. So y'all, I did not intend for this video to be that long, but I haven't talked to y'all and I missed y'all. So let me get back out here, take care of some things, and come back to y'all later, even if it's like a short video. I love y'all so much. I hope that y'all are staying cool. And I just want to throw this out there. As people, we have our ups and downs when it comes to emotions, right? That's a normal thing. Sometimes you feel that you're on top of the world or that you're going in the right direction, whether it's your career, personal life, artist life, content creation, whatever it is you're doing. There are days and weeks even when you're like, yes, I'm doing it. And then there's times when you're like, it's not amounting to anything. I'm not doing as well as I should be. That's that's life. So today, I don't know if y'all have ever seen the video. It's a girl. She's so pretty. She's heavier and she's trying to lose weight. And she was like, y'all thought I can't run. And she hits the phone and she's kind of like shuffle running a little bit, right? Comes back. She's been documenting her weight loss. So I was scrolling TikTok today and I came across a video of hers. And for me, it was what I needed at that time, like literally earlier today. So I just wanted to share it with y'all because I also, when y'all watch these videos, of course, I want you to laugh. I want to evoke some sort of emotion in you, right? Even if you disagree, as long as it's respectful, right? But I also, even with the podcast, that was my thing too. When I did my other podcast, I definitely wanted somebody to always walk away knowing they weren't alone and that just to keep fighting for whatever it is you're fighting for, right? Or working towards. So I just wanted to share this with y'all today. In her video, I'll just condense it. She was in the shower and she showed this little bar of soap. You know, when you have a big bar of soap and then the soap gets down to about that big, the flat piece. So what do? Even though it's enough soap there, you throw it away and you open the fresh new box. So she said, she was like, and again, now let me preface this. She's a believer in God. I'm a believer, but I feel like you can take this no matter what you believe in. So she has the soap. Like I said, the soap was about like, she showed it. So maybe like palm size or what have you. And she said she went, put it down and opened up a brand new box of soap. And then she shows the new soap. And she said she felt like God was telling her, what's wrong with that little bit you can't use that little bit that you had in your hand before. You didn't need a fresh new one. You can use that little bit of soap to wash your body, just like I can use the little that you think is not enough to get you to where you need to be. Even the little that you have can still be used to get you to where you need to be. Because I thought about it in terms of my old podcast before and how I felt like it was starting to go up. And then even this when I first started. And then I had taken a break from the podcast for like months. And that really affected my numbers when I did that in 2022. Because I felt like I was on like a momentum. And then now I just kind of feel like, it's little, right? It's little. And then even with the YouTube channel, just starting out, it's like people sometimes look at you like you're new in the content creation space. And sometimes I want to scream, I've been creating content for 8 years, just not in this realm, right? But that's my own thing. But I still felt like it was just little. It's little numbers, little recognition, meaning, because you don't have to have every eye on you, right? But the right eyes to help you get to where you want to go. And I just felt like it was little. And that's literally how I've been feeling, like, oh, it's just so little. So when she showed that bar of soap and said, for her, this is what she's saying, that God was speaking to her and telling her, you can use the little. I can use the little. I can use the little in you that you think is little to get the job done, to get you to where you need to be. Let me use the little. And I was like, my little can still get me to where I need to be. Because, of course, I'm thinking numbers and downloads and this and that and eyes. My little can still be used to get me to where I need to be. So for those of y'all that y'all may be in content creation, or maybe you're at a job and you're thinking your little experience can't get you to where you need to be, don't give up. Your little can be used to get you to the next level, to get you where you need to be. So I hope that helped. If not, if all of it didn't resonate with you, eat the meat, throw out the bones. Okay. But I just felt encouraged by that because it had been on my mind lately, literally the words like little, like my little, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I just wanted to encourage y'all with that. All right, y'all, let me get my behind up from here. Because next thing you know, I'll be coming back minutes later with the video singing, I'm still here. That's a shout out from my friend watching, because I'm saying my friend, we always talk about me saying I'm still here. I don't know why I love that little part of Tisha Campbell's song. I'm still here. All right, y'all. I will be back later. Talk to y'all soon. See ya.